Hello everybody. It's a little chilly today. It's kind of in the 30s and 40s. I am digging today. We just finished a layer, so we're about to start our next one that you might have seen in the previous videos. I've got my tea here, and you're going to come and do a little bit of screening with me. It's going to be kind of a shorter video today, but hopefully we'll find some very interesting things. Alrighty, let's get started. So you can see we're working around some pretty big tree roots here. Look how much we've dug already, and we're still going. We have a pretty large cobblestone here. I think this might be limestone. I'm not positive. But you can see some things that are going to be removed pretty immediately before I start digging. Over here, we've got a nice piece of porcelain sticking out. And the fun thing is that a lot of the porcelain we've been finding is actually inside, sitting on the dinner table inside of the main house. That direction, because that was a set that they used for nicer dinners, and Christmas is coming up, so they've got that all decorated. You can also see a stoneware piece right here that's sticking out that I'm about to remove, and just as I'm looking at that, there's a piece of glass that pops out. You've got stones that look a lot like things, but they're just rocks. And over here I can just see this piece of pottery. Oh my gosh, look, no way. We have, it looks like a little bit of a back stamp on that one, so that can help us to tell the maker. So I'll just stick these little guys in the artifact bag here, and then we can get to digging some of that out. I guess let's see if this wiggles first. Yeah, oh my gosh, it's way bigger than I thought it was gonna be. So you can see, sorry, that root is in the way. Gray salt glazed stoneware, nice tan, dark interior. We have had a lot of pieces of this guy. It's probably a crock of some sort. And if you look just next to me here, you can see this guy that's gonna come out. Look at that. Probably some type of yellowware dish, maybe even a bowl. Very nice piece. It's a rim. So that would have been the edge of a piece there. And then let's go get our porcelain up here. You can probably wiggle this one out as well. Yep, there she comes. Oh, wow. This one is hand painted. You can see the rim right here. There's a little hand painted blue. Oh, gorgeous outside. And it's got some gold. Is that a star? It's got little gold stars on it. So once we get cleaned up, this will be a pretty cool piece. I've not seen this yet here. We have a lot of porcelain that has straight up gold painted rims, but I've never seen a blue one with stars. So that is pretty exciting. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get to digging. I'm gonna try and remove this guy, and then we can do some screening. Okay, so we're going to screen. We dumped a whole chunk of dirt in here. I'm gonna go ahead and go like this, and you'll start to see things appear. There we go. And then we're gonna sit down and go through it. Okay. All right, so just right off the bat, I'm sure you see the most obvious thing here. So we'll take a look. This looks like some sort of cup, and it's got transfer print on it, and looks like maybe this one goes with it. Yeah. And they probably mend. Yep, it looks like they mend just like that. So that is pretty cool. I've not seen a shape like this before. And just looking in here, I see some other things. There's this. This is a nice yellowware. And I have to see if it's a rim. It looks like it's a rim. Probably some type of bowl, because the decoration is on the outside. You wouldn't need it on the outside or the bottom of the plate. And what else do we have here? This is a nice piece of bone. You can see it a little better on one of the clean sides. It's a very chunky piece of bone, so it's going to be a bigger animal. This is just a really small piece of whatever body part that is. There's also lots of sandstone in here. You've got pieces of charcoal in here, lots of remnants of fires and cooking. Here's a nice piece. It's just mostly the glaze. Sometimes it's pretty common for the glaze to chip away from some of the bigger pieces of the body. So that probably goes with that. Going through lots of rocks, and rocks can be pretty deceiving and looking like they're pottery sometimes, or looking like there's something important although rocks are pretty important. I don't really see much else in this screen. There's another nice rock. So I'm going to go ahead and dump this and get on to the next one. All right, next screen. Looks like so far I can see a lot of rocks and charcoal. Sometimes in archaeology sites you don't really get too much in some screens, but you get a lot in others. The layers above this that I showed you before, they really had a lot of artifacts to each screen, probably about 10 to 20, sometimes more. But these ones down here, we are getting closer. There's a teeny tiny itsy bitsy teeny weeny bone. As we're getting closer to the natural soil, what we call native horizon, it was nothing, no people were really in the area. It's pretty much just clay. Once you get to that layer or get closer to it, there's going to be less and less artifacts in there. So I'm not seeing a whole lot of things in here actually, besides that tiny piece of bone. There's some charcoal, but I don't really save that. I save larger pieces, so maybe in the future we can date it. Although I am seeing small pieces of things, like little rocks that could be what's called debitage, which is like flakes from making a Native American tool. I've seen a couple of those go into the bucket, so I know they're in there somewhere, but I haven't found them yet. So we're gonna keep looking for them. But right now, I think that tiny bone is the only thing in this screen, which, I mean, some sites archaeologists work on, you don't get a single artifact the whole dig. So I'd say we're pretty lucky here in that we found quite a lot. And here's another small long bone. Really, really small, maybe a mouse, some little guy. All right, on to the next one. Here's our next screen. Give it a good shake. Oh, wow. So it looks like we have some artifacts in this screen, if you can guess what they are. We've got two pretty big long bones right there. So those will go in the bag. What else can we see in here? Oh, look, there is a tooth. Maybe pig. Could be sheep or horse. I'd have to clean it up to see. My guess is probably pig though. That's pretty cool. What else? So looking through, there's another piece of bone. Bones are pretty common in trash dumps, if you can guess why. Here's another itsy bitsy bone. That one is really small. I don't even know if you can see it in that video. Bones are pretty common because, you know, people were eating a lot of animals back then, and it turns out to be trash. This is also, if you can guess it, a bone. But it's that color because it's so burnt. As bone burns, it'll turn colors. It'll be white or gray, kind of depending on the heat of it. So, oh, here we go. There's a piece of pottery. So this looks like it's got some kind of little maybe design coming in on the side. And it's definitely a rim. We have a lot of rims here. Where's the bodies? I think that might be it for this screen. So lots of rocks that look like things, lots of charcoal. Here's another burnt bone. This one's more white and gray or blue. They can turn that color too. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and do one more screen for the day before I go ahead and clean up. You can already see something is sticking out. So let's give it a good shake. Sometimes you have to crumble the dirt a little bit because it needs a little helping hand to get through that screen. All right, what do we see in here? A large piece of charcoal. Okay, this is a beautiful piece of redware. I haven't seen too much redware on this site yet. It's probably lead glazed. So that is beautiful. I have to research that a little, and it looks like this might be a base for a redware. All right, obviously we can see this one. It's very bright and telling that it's there. And it looks like maybe some ironstone ceramic. And then, let's see, what else? A little rib bone, tiny, tiny rib. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. What else do we have in here? Lots of stones, lots of charcoal, pretty common for this layer. Here's a small piece of bone, animal bone. Here's another really small rib, or maybe I just dropped it back. Oh, no, I didn't. And that thing is flying. And then over here, we've got a tiny piece of glass, a little one. Sometimes things are very small, so you have to have good eyes. There's another piece of glass. This one's more blue, more aqua. So we've got all sorts of glass that we've been finding in this unit. Some is, here's another piece. Some is window. Some is drinking. Here's a piece of a nail. It's hard to see it right now, but it'll look like a really old Cheeto when you get it all cleaned up due to the rust. Like a Cheeto you left in your car for 200 years. And there's another piece of glass. So lots of little pieces of glass, maybe medicinal bottles. Could be some type of tableware. We got some more small bone. And I think that might be it for this screen as well. So all in all, this layer didn't yield as many artifacts, but it still has a good number of them. So we're gonna have a good data set here from this one. Thank you for joining us screening today. We had a fun time. Here's Kathleen, she was out here helping me. And here's our artifact bag. There's quite a lot in there. Don't know if you probably can't see, but there's a good amount. I'd say we probably got around maybe 50 artifacts from our screening today. That's way less than the above layers, but we are getting down there to the older layers, so it's gonna be some older stuff. And I hope you join me next week for Archaeology Wednesday. Thanks for joining.